What is up, enthusiasts? It is Cedar Flags here, and welcome back to another one of my videos. On this channel, I talk a lot about some major stuff in the roller coaster industry. It's either speculation, news, or lists, and I do a lot of research and provide a lot of information in my videos. But today, I'm going to go a little less formal. Today, I want to look at roller coasters based completely off of their looks. If you're a roller coaster enthusiast, then you most likely have been to an amusement park, looked at a roller coaster, assumed its height, and then looked it up only for it to appear a lot taller or a lot shorter than the actual height of the roller coaster. And the other day I was on FaceTime with an enthusiast friend of mine, and we looked at a lot of these rides. And we went on RCDB, looked at the height comparison, and was shocked to find out that some roller coasters were taller than others. So today, we are going to look at some roller coasters that will change your perception on height. Before I get into the video, I just want to let you all know that we are almost at 7,500 subscribers. So if you haven't already, make sure to press that subscribe button. Let's get right into the video. The first roller coaster I want to talk about is the newly defunct Wicked Twister at Cedar Point. This intimate impulse coaster was at the time the tallest inverted coaster in the world. When you look at a ride like Alpengeist at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, well, this was taller. In fact, it was much taller. Standing at an impressive height of 215 feet, it did not look like that whatsoever. When you went up to this ride, it didn't look more than 150 feet. And knowing that it's taller than rides like Steel Vengeance and Magnum XL 200 really messes with my mind. Look at a ride like Superman the Ride at Six Flags New England. It's taller than that. It's also taller than every RMC. Look at pictures like Zadra at Energylandia and Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa. All of those rides, this tiny little ride is taller than those. And looking back at pictures of Son of Beast at Kings Island, this is only 3 feet taller than Wicked Twister. Both now defunct, we don't have to look at Wicked Twister anymore, which may be a blessing for some, but a curse to others. Anyway, just looking at this ride in person, it did not look anywhere near the height of what it actually is, which may baffle some people, but you have to remember, this ride is at Cedar Point, surrounded by much taller attractions and rides. But anyway, let's get on to the next coaster. Space Mountain at Disney World's Magic Kingdom in Orlando, Florida might be one of the most iconic roller coasters of all time. When it opened up, it was extremely iconic and did a lot for the roller coaster industry. Standing at an extremely impressive height of 183 feet, this makes it 2 feet taller than El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey. Credited for being one of the tallest wooden coasters on the planet and looking absolutely gargantuan. And when it comes to the park itself, you might think to yourself, well, Cinderella's Castle is a lot taller than Space Mountain. Well, Cinderella's Castle is only 187 feet in height, which means that the tip of Space Mountain and the tip of Cinderella's Castle are, yes, less than 10 feet apart. That just doesn't seem real. Another ride I was surprised to realize that this was taller than was the one and only Iron Rattler at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. Imagine Space Mountain's structure right next to it towering over even Iron Rattler. Yes, this is less than 20 feet from being hyper coaster height, and even though it isn't the actual coaster, it's still extremely impressive that this building doesn't look any more than 150 feet tall, while it rises well over 180 feet. I would say that this is most likely due to a combination of things. One is Disney's forced perspective technique, where with Cinderella's Castle being so small compared to what it looks like, they actually make the top half of the building seem to look a lot smaller, so it looks further away from people on the ground. Another reason is that Space Mountain is located far away from the midways of Disney, and the views of it can be pretty scarce. So, in my opinion, those are the two main reasons why. I'm gonna be completely honest though, it's still very bizarre. Next, we are going to go to Knott's Berry Farm in California to talk about Montezumas Revenge. The ride themed after diarrhea is interesting in more ways than one. The height of this ride is surprisingly tall. it is over 140 feet. In fact, it tops out at a max height of 148 feet at its peak. That just seems crazy to me, 148 feet in height. Now, it is a shuttle coaster, which definitely gives off a different illusion, but the top peak of Montezumas Revenge is taller than Hades 360, Dragon Con at Port Aventura, Pyrenees, the B&M Invert, and the original White Cyclone at Nagashima Spa Land in Japan. Just looking at the pictures of these rides and then looking at Montezuma's Spike just baffles me. The fact that that is taller than all of the other coasters I just mentioned. 148 feet is taller than you think, and that still blows my mind to this day. The final roller coaster I want to talk about in this video is Cornball Express at Indiana Beach. Now, unlike the coasters I talked about, this ride is surprisingly short, much shorter than you think. Now, I just want you to look at this right here, this picture. How tall do you think this ride is? I'll give you 3 seconds. Done? Well, the ride tops out at 55 feet in height. Now, you might be thinking that's still pretty tall for the picture, but let me explain what roller coasters are taller than Cornball Express. Freedom Flyer at Fun Spot Orlando. I mean, just look at pictures of this ride. This is taller at 64 feet in height. Iron Dragon at Cedar Point is taller than Cornball Express. Dragon Flyer at Dollywood? Well, believe it or not, taller than Cornball Express. For a final statistic comparison, well, this ride was only 3 feet taller than the 52-foot tall High Milers, one being Hurricane at Fun Spot Kissimmee. Look at that ride and then look at Cornball Express. I don't know how CCI did it, but this ride looks much taller than any of the rides I just mentioned. It honestly blows my mind that this ride is only 55 feet in height. When you're on the ride, it honestly feels like it could be up to 100. And speaking of Indiana Beach, the ride next to it, Hoosier Hurricane, is only up to 99 feet. Now, that still is pretty tall, and looking at pictures, it looks massive. In fact, it looks even taller. It looks over 150 feet in height, to be 100% honest. Now, that makes me wonder, what would Mystic Timbers look like at Indiana Beach? Mystic Timbers is 100 feet tall, just over, so this thing would be as tall as Hoosier Hurricane, if not a few feet taller. That just blows my mind when thinking about it. Indiana Beach just might have the setting credited to how short the rides look, but at the end of the day, it still looks extremely tiny. Anyway, that is all I have right now. I do have a few other roller coasters I could think about, but if you want a part 2, let me know down in the comments below. I don't know if this video is going to do good, to be completely honest. The only reason I did this video is because it got by far the most votes on my Instagram polls. And I have to say, this one was pretty fun to make. Now, I do like making more formal videos, but hey, if you enjoy this, let me know. Anyway, this is Cedar Flags, and I will see you all later.